The chamber of the Galactic Council was silent, but the silence did not bring peace. It was a heavy silence, the kind that felt like a warning by itself. Every council member sat in their tall silver chairs, watching the hologram in the center of the room. The hologram showed only one thing, a glowing map of the galaxy with a single planet shining brighter than all others, Earth. For thousands of years, the Council followed one ancient rule, a rule written before humanity even reached the stars. The rule said, never push humanity into war. Many species asked why this rule existed, but no one alive had seen the reason with their own eyes. Only old records remained, sealed away, hidden from normal access. The Council kept these secrets because the truth was too dangerous. Today, those secrets were waking again. A council elder named Serakan finally spoke. His voice was calm but filled with fear. We feel movement near the human borders. Someone is trying to provoke them. His words echoed through the hall like thunder. Another council member leaned forward and whispered, if humanity enters war again, the galaxy will not survive another event. The fear was not because humans were evil. It was because humans were unstoppable when they were pushed to defend their own kind. Humans fought with something the council did not understand. They fought with heart, with unity, and with a strange power that grew stronger under pressure. And so the warning was created long ago, to protect the entire galaxy from destruction. But now, someone was breaking the rule. Far away, near the edge of human space, a research outpost orbited a quiet blue moon. The humans stationed there lived peacefully, studying signals from deep space. The day began normally, with laughter and routine work, until the sky changed. A strange pulse of red light crossed the moon. Something massive was approaching. The sensors detected it too late. A blast of energy hit the outpost and cut through its shields like paper. The station shook, alarms screamed, and the lights flickered. No one even had time to call for help before everything went dark. The entire outpost went silent in seconds, wiped away by a force no one understood. Back in the council chamber, a message flashed across the hologram, showing the destroyed station. Gasps filled the room. A young councillor stood up with shock in his eyes. This was not an accident. Someone wants war. But who would dare? Who would risk waking the old threat that slept inside humanity? The Council quickly sent a warning across the galaxy. Their message echoed through every empire and every outpost. Do not provoke Earth, do not attack humanity, do not break the ancient rule. Some species obeyed immediately, some ignored it, and one group received the warning with a cruel smile. Humanity did not respond right away, which made the situation even worse. Humans were normally quick to investigate or demand answers. But this time, Earth remained quiet. Too quiet. The Council understood this silence. It was the silence before a storm. Far below the orbit of Earth, Commander Orin Holt stood inside the Human Military Command Center. He watched the destroyed research outpost on a large screen. There was anger in his chest, but he kept his face steady. Orin was known for calm thinking under pressure. Whoever did this, he said quietly, wants us to react fast, but we will react in our way. While the Council feared war, humanity feared only one thing, losing innocent lives. And now, innocent lives had been taken. Orin ordered his team to scan the remains of the attack. Strange energy signatures appeared, not matching any known ally species. It was not a random hit. It was a message. Orin narrowed his eyes. The enemy was smart. They destroyed the outpost but left clues behind, almost on purpose, as if they wanted to be found. Meanwhile, the Council held another emergency meeting. Voices were raised. Panic began to spread. This is the first spark, someone shouted. If humans decide to strike back, the war will not stop until one side falls. Another council member whispered. We begged the galaxy for peace, but someone has chosen chaos. Across the stars, a hidden transmission was sent toward Earth. A cold metallic voice spoke in a language that only humans were meant to hear. Come and stop us, if you can. That was all. No name, no signature, just a challenge. The message reached Commander Orin within minutes. He listened to it 3 times, each time feeling the tension rise in the room. Someone wanted to drag humanity into war. Someone wanted to test the old legend that the Council feared. Orin turned to his officers and spoke with steady bravery. Prepare the investigation fleet. Do not engage until we understand who is behind this. But everyone in the room knew the truth. This was only the beginning. Something far more dangerous was moving in the dark, watching and waiting for Earth to strike back. And humanity would strike back, but in their own way, the way the galaxy remembered and feared. The Council could sense the shift in the air, the quiet awakening of a power they hoped to never see again. The ancient rule had been broken, and the consequences were coming fast. The galaxy held its breath, for once humanity took the first step into war, there would be no turning back. The human investigation fleet moved silently through space, like shadows drifting across a dark sea. No war drums, no warnings, no loud signals, just quiet motion and controlled focus. Commander Orin Holt stood at the front of the command deck, watching the stars slide past the windows. He did not blink, he did not speak much, because every second mattered now. The destroyed outpost still played in his mind, the screams, the sudden silence, the empty darkness that followed. It was not just an attack, it was a message. Orin felt it in his bones. Someone wanted to pull humanity into something bigger, something dangerous, but they had no idea what line they were crossing. The first clue came from the fragments recovered near the moon, a strange alloy. Unlike any metal the humans used, it carried heat signatures that did not fade with time, as if the metal itself remembered the attack. Orin watched his science officer, Dr. Lyra Vance, study the fragments with careful hands. She frowned and said quietly, "This metal belongs to a species we have never encountered, Commander." She paused. "Or a species that does not want to be known." Orin felt the room grow colder. Far away, the Galactic Council continued to panic, their chambers filled with fear and arguments. Some wanted to contact Earth directly, some wanted to hide, but none wanted to say the truth out loud. The truth that humanity would not ignore this attack. The truth that if humans decided to fight, the whole galaxy would shake again. After hours of debate, the Council sent another message to all star systems. Do not move against Earth. We repeat, do not provoke humanity. But in the far corner of the galaxy, a different group watched the Council with amusement, their faces hidden behind masks, their ships hidden behind cloaking fields. They whispered among themselves, "Finally, the humans will rise again," another voice answered, "and when they rise, we will be ready." Then they sent out more hidden signals, pushing the galaxy closer to chaos. Back aboard Orin's flagship, the fleet dropped out of warp near the border systems. The space here felt strange, as if something invisible was waiting. The sensors picked up faint traces of energy weapons, trails left behind by the attackers. Dr. Lyra studied the patterns and whispered, "Commander, whoever attacked us did not retreat." She looked at him with worry in her eyes. "They moved deeper into our territory." Orin clenched his jaw. This was not just provocation anymore. This was an invitation. He ordered his fleet to spread out, scanning every corner of the region. The ships moved quietly, avoiding detection. The humans wanted answers, not war, but answers were becoming harder to find. Suddenly, a small patrol ship sent an urgent message. "Commander, we found something." Orin rushed to the observation deck and stared at the hologram. The patrol ship had found a floating beacon, not human, not Council, something entirely unknown. The beacon pulsed with red light, repeating a loop signal. Orin ordered it brought to the flagship for analysis. Inside the lab, Dr. Lyra activated the beacon with caution. The red light expanded, forming a hologram. A masked figure appeared, its voice cold and sharp like metal. "Humanity, your silence is disappointing," the figure said. "We expected more from your kind." Orin stepped forward, his eyes narrowing. The hologram turned its masked face toward him. "You are predictable, Commander Orin Holt," it said. "You protect the weak. You follow orders. You avoid war." Then the figure leaned closer. "But your species was born for war, and we will remind the galaxy of that truth." The hologram vanished before Orin could respond. The room felt heavier than before. Dr. Lyra whispered, "They studied us. They know our names." Orin stared at the empty air where the hologram had been. "And they want us angry," he said softly. "They want a reaction. But what did the enemy gain from provoking humanity? What did they want to unleash?" As Orin prepared a report, his ship's alarm suddenly blared. The bridge officer shouted, "Commander, we have incoming signals." Orin rushed to the main deck. Outside the window, the stars flickered. A fleet of unknown ships appeared at the edge of sensor range, their shapes sharp and predatory, unlike anything humans had seen. The enemy had found them. Orin's officers looked at him, waiting for orders, waiting for fear, but Orin stayed calm. Even as the enemy ships moved closer, he raised a hand and said, "Do not fire." The entire fleet froze, confused. The enemy ships stopped too, as if surprised by the lack of response. Orin watched them quietly, studying their formation. "They want us to panic," he said. "They want us to shoot first." But Orin would not give them what they wanted. Instead, he opened a channel, a simple message sent to the unknown fleet. "Identify yourselves." No answer came. Instead, one of the enemy ships fired a warning shot, a beam of energy that passed close by the flagship without hitting it. It was meant to scare them, but Orin did not flinch. He turned to his officers and said in a calm voice, "Send a message to Earth." He paused. "Tell them authorization may be needed." Those words carried more weight than any weapon, because when humanity asked for authorization, it meant the situation was turning deadly. As the enemy ships circled around like wolves, Orin felt something shift in the air, something deep and ancient awakening. The galaxy had tried to avoid this moment. The Council had begged for peace, but someone had opened the door to something they could not control. And humanity was stepping through that door. Slowly, quietly, dangerously. The enemy fleet circled the human ships like shadows waiting to strike. The air inside the flagship felt tight, but Commander Orrin Holt stayed calm. His eyes stayed locked on the strange ships. Their dark hulls carried no symbols, no colors, no signs of identity, as if they wanted to hide from the galaxy itself. Dr. Lyra stood beside him, her voice low and steady. "They are watching us, Commander, studying our reactions," Orrin nodded slowly. "They want to know how far we will go." But he also sensed something else, something deeper than provocation. These attackers were not chaos seekers. They had a purpose, a plan, and humanity was at the center of it. Suddenly, one of the enemy ships powered down its weapons and drifted forward. It stopped directly in front of Orrin's flagship. A single pod detached from it and floated quietly toward the human ship. The crew stiffened with fear, weapons locked onto the pod, but Orrin raised his hand. "Do not fire." The pod docked and opened, but no one stepped out. Instead, a small device rolled onto the deck, blinking with blue light. Security surrounded it. Dr. Lyra scanned it and whispered, "It's a data core." Orrin ordered it brought to the lab. When they activated it, a hologram flickered to life, revealing a map of the galaxy marked with red circles. Dozens of them, all connected by thin glowing lines. Dr. Lyra's voice shook slightly. "Commander, these marks show places attacked or infiltrated before the human outpost." Orrin leaned closer. "But these attacks were never reported," Dr. Lyra nodded. "Because they were hidden." Then the hologram changed, revealing a symbol, a jagged spiral with a glowing center. Orrin had never seen it before, but something about it felt ancient and dangerous. The computer translated the symbol into a single word. "Vaughn." Orrin whispered it softly, as if saying the name might summon them. Across the galaxy, inside a secret base carved into a dying star, the real enemy watched Orrin's reaction through stolen surveillance. Their leader, a tall figure with a mask shaped like a twisted star, spoke calmly. "He understands part of it," another masked figure answered. "He will soon understand the rest." The leader's voice grew colder. "Humanity must awaken, or the galaxy will never change." Back on the flagship, Orrin continued studying the map. He pointed at one location, a region lost in dark space, far beyond normal travel routes. The data core displayed new text, "Origin of attack." Orrin realized this was their first real clue. "We go there," he said. His officers exchanged worried looks. That region was known for vanished ships and broken signals. Many called it a graveyard of stars. But Orrin did not hesitate. "Set a course," he ordered. The human fleet turned slowly, preparing for the jump. The enemy ships did not stop them. They simply watched, letting humanity move deeper into danger, almost as if they wanted them to continue. Hours later, the fleet entered the dark region. The stars here were dim, swallowed by heavy shadows. Space felt colder, as if light itself was afraid. Sensor readings broke every few minutes. Dr. Lyra glanced at Orrin, her voice tense. "Commander, something is interfering with our systems," Orrin said quietly. "Stay focused. We knew this place would fight us." Then they found it, a massive structure floating in the darkness, larger than any station the humans had ever seen. Its design looked ancient, almost fossil-like, with curved plates and glowing veins of energy running through it. The fleet slowed down, every ship silent, no one breathing too loud. The structure felt alive, watching them. A communication signal suddenly hit them, sharp and direct. "Humanity, you have traveled farther than expected," the voice said. It was the same masked figure from the earlier hologram, but now the voice sounded clearer, heavier. "You seek answers," it said, "then enter." The structure opened slowly like a colossal mouth. Orrin hesitated for only a moment. "Prepare a small team," he said. "We go inside." When the shuttle entered the ancient structure, the darkness swallowed it whole. Lights flickered along the walls, reacting to their presence. Dr. Lyra whispered, "This is not abandoned, it is waiting." Deep inside, they found a chamber filled with glowing crystals that projected memories. Visions of old battles appeared around them. Battles humanity had never heard of. Battles fought long before humans reached space. The crystals showed the Vaughn attacking world after world, not to conquer but to test. Then the last vision appeared, humans fighting the Vaughn centuries ago. The memory showed humanity winning, not with superior weapons, but with sheer will, unity, and something the machines could not understand. Orrin watched in shock. Humans had fought the Vaughn before, but all records were erased by the Council long ago. Dr. Lyra whispered the question everyone feared. "Why did the Council hide this?" Orrin shook his head. "Because the truth is worse." He looked at the final memory again. "The Vaughn are not trying to destroy us," he said quietly. "They are trying to trigger us." The shadows around them seemed to move, then the masked leader's voice echoed through the chamber. "Humanity grows strongest in war," it said, "and the galaxy needs your strength once more." Orrin stepped forward, anger rising. "You killed our people," he shouted. The voice replied calmly, "Only because you would not listen." The crystals dimmed, leaving the team in darkness. Orin felt a cold realization settle inside him. The Vaughn did not fear humanity. They depended on them. They wanted to awaken something inside the human race, something even the Council feared. And now, it was awakening, faster than anyone could stop. The shuttle returned to the human flagship in complete silence. No one spoke, no one moved too fast, everyone carried the same heavy truth inside their minds. Commander Orin Holt walked straight to the command deck, his steps slow but filled with purpose. He had seen enough. He now understood why the Vaughn provoked them, why the Council feared them, and why the galaxy watched from the shadows. Humanity was the weapon everyone hoped would never activate. Dr. Lyra stood beside him, her face pale but steady. "Commander," she whispered, "if the Vaughn are right, if they want to awaken us, what do we do now?" Orin stared out the window at the dark stars surrounding them. The answer was simple, but terrifying. "We move," he said softly, "but we move in our way." He turned to his officers. "Prepare the fleet." The room shifted instantly, officers snapping to their stations, hands shaking as they activated systems. For the first time since the attack on the outpost, the humans were not reacting, they were acting. They moved with calm purpose, not anger, not fear, just quiet determination, and that quietness was more frightening than any war cry. Far across the galaxy, the Galactic Council received reports of human fleet movements, maps lit up with red lines crossing sectors at impossible speed. One council member whispered, "They are not marching to battle," another replied. "They are disappearing." Because human ships were not gathering, they were scattering, vanishing from sensors, using routes no one knew existed. The council elder Serkan closed his eyes and said, "This is the moment we prayed would never arrive." Meanwhile, the Vaughn watched with satisfaction. Their leader stood before a star-shaped window as ships moved under his command. "The humans have begun," he said. "Now the galaxy will change." But one of his officers stepped forward nervously. "Lord, what if they overwhelm us?" The leader turned slowly, his mask glowing faint blue. "We do not fear their victory," he said. "We fear their silence." Because silence meant humanity was planning something no one could predict. Back on the human flagship, Orin studied the data core again. The crystals had shown visions of past wars, but one image returned again and again in his mind, a scene where humans fought not for revenge, not for destruction, but to protect others who could not defend themselves. He understood now, that was what the Vaughn wanted. They wanted humanity to rise and use that power again, but Orin refused to let the Vaughn choose the path of humanity. He would choose it himself. A sudden alarm broke the silence. "Commander, multiple Vaughn ships approaching." Orin walked to the main screen. Outside, dozens of Vaughn ships emerged from the shadows, forming a massive blockade around the human fleet. Dr. Lyra whispered, "They want to trap us." Orin shook his head. "No," he said, "they want to watch us." The Vaughn leader appeared on the hologram. "Commander Orin Holt," he said calmly, "you have seen the truth. Now decide, will humanity rise?" Orin looked at him without fear. "You think war makes us strong," he said. "You think pain awakens something inside us." The Vaughn leader tilted his head. "Does it not?" Orin stepped closer, his voice low and controlled. "You do not understand us at all." Then he ended the transmission. The human fleet powered up instantly, lights dimmed, engines hummed, and the ships moved like silver arrows cutting through darkness. But instead of attacking, they performed a maneuver no one expected. They vanished from the blockade using a hidden jump technology even the Council had not seen before. The Vaughn leader stared at the empty space where the humans had been. "Good," he whispered. "They are finally awakening." The humans reappeared near the outer edges of Vaughn space, a region filled with abandoned stations and broken moons. Orin gathered his team and spoke in a calm voice. "We do not attack civilians," he said. "We do not destroy worlds." He looked at the damaged moons. "We find the Vaughn command core, and we end this on our terms." Dr. Lyra nodded. "That is the human way." The fleet entered deeper into Vaughn territory, passing silent stations and broken war machines. Everything felt too quiet, too empty, as if the Vaughn had cleared the path intentionally. The silence grew heavier with every passing minute. Orin could feel something watching them, something hidden among the stars. Suddenly, sensors detected a large object ahead. They approached slowly, and the shape came into view. It was a colossal fortress, bigger than any human station, glowing with blue veins of power, the Vaughn command core. The moment they stopped outside it, a voice echoed through every human ship. "Welcome, humanity," it said. "You have taken the first step." Orin frowned. "What step?" he said softly. The voice answered with chilling calm. "The step toward becoming what the galaxy needs." Orin's hands tightened on the console. "We are not your weapon," he said. "We fight to protect, not destroy," the voice replied. "Then prove it." The fortress doors opened slowly, revealing a dark passage lit by pulsing blue light. Orin prepared a landing team, his heart steady, his mind clear. Humanity was finally moving, not with rage but with purpose. The Vaughn wanted to awaken something old and dangerous inside humans. But Orin planned to awaken something else, something stronger, something the Vaughn never expected. He stepped toward the open passage, ready for whatever waited inside, because he knew the truth now. Humanity did not go to war to win, they went to war to end what should never have started. And this war was only seconds away from beginning. The human landing team walked through the open passage of the Vaughn fortress. The blue light pulsed slowly like a heartbeat, guiding them deeper inside. Commander Orin Holt led the way, his hand near his sidearm but not touching it. He knew this enemy was not looking for a simple battle. The air felt heavy, as if the walls themselves were watching every movement they made. Dr. Lyra walked beside him, scanning the strange symbols carved into the walls. "These markings," she whispered. "They are not warnings, they are invitations." Orin nodded slowly. "Then let us see what they want to show us." The passage opened into a massive chamber glowing with white light, and standing in the center was the Vaughn leader, tall, calm, silent, as if he had been waiting there for ages. He raised one hand, and the chamber doors sealed shut behind the humans. No one raised their weapons. Everyone felt the same strange pressure in the air, not hostile, not friendly, but ancient. The Vaughn leader stepped forward, his mask glowing softly. "Humanity," he said, his voice echoing like a whisper across metal. "You stand at the edge of what you were always meant to be." Orin stared at him without fear. "You killed our people," he said. "You destroyed a peaceful outpost." The leader tilted his head. "A necessary spark," he replied calmly. "You would not rise without fire." Dr. Lyra stepped forward. "We do not want to rise in war," she said. "We want peace," the leader answered. "Peace is a luxury you cannot afford." His voice hardened. "The galaxy is dying, threats grow in the shadows, and only your kind has the will to stop them." Orin took a step closer. "So you provoke us, force us, manipulate us." The leader remained still. "We push you because no one else can stand against what is coming." Orin narrowed his eyes. "And you think humanity exists to fight your wars?" The leader shook his head slowly. "No," he said. "Humanity exists to end them." The chamber suddenly darkened, and the walls lit up with visions again. They showed distant galaxies consumed by unknown forces, shadows devouring entire fleets, civilizations begging for mercy. Then the visions shifted, showing humans standing against darkness, holding the line, protecting worlds that were not their own. The Vaughn leader spoke softly. "Your ancestors did this once. They ended wars no one else could survive," Orin whispered. "Then why hide this from us?" The leader's voice softened. "Because the council feared you," he said. "They erased your past to keep you small." Orin felt the truth hit him like a storm. Humanity had not been protected by the council. They had been contained, limited, restrained from becoming what they truly were. But the Vaughn made one mistake. They thought humanity needed pushing. They thought humans needed to be provoked into strength. They did not understand that humans chose their strength. They did not understand that humans fought for people, not power. Orin stepped forward until he stood only a few steps from the Vaughn leader. "You wanted us to awaken," he said. "Fine." His voice was calm, steady, unshaken. "But we awaken in our own way." Suddenly, the human fleet outside the fortress revealed its hidden formation. Hundreds of ships shimmered into view, their stealth fields dropping all at once. The Vaughn forces watching from the star-shaped base froze in shock. They expected rage, fire, destruction. Instead, the human fleet positioned itself in a perfect shield wall around the fortress, protecting it rather than attacking it. The Vaughn leaders inside their command rooms stared in confusion. "Why are they not firing?" one asked. "Why protect us?" The answer came seconds later when Orin's voice transmitted across the fortress. "Because we are not your weapon," he said. "We are not here to destroy, we are here to stop this cycle." The Vaughn leader inside the chamber stood silently, absorbing Orin's words. Orin continued. "If the galaxy truly faces danger, then we will face it." He stepped even closer. "But we decide when to fight, how to fight, and what to protect." He looked around the glowing chamber. "Humanity does not fight to prove strength," he said. "Humanity fights to end suffering." A long silence followed. The Vaughn leader bowed his head slowly, for the first time showing respect. "Then humanity has already begun to rise," he said. "Not in war, but in choice." The chamber lights softened, the doors opened once more, and the Vaughn soldiers outside lowered their weapons. Humanity had won without firing a single shot. The Galactic Council received the final message moments later, Orin's voice calm and steady. "The ancient rule is broken," he said, "but the galaxy does not need to fear us." The message continued. "We will not unleash destruction," he paused. "We will end threats only when needed, in our way, not theirs." Across the galaxy, species who feared humanity now watched in awe. The humans had walked into Vaughn's space, faced an ancient enemy, uncovered hidden truths, and came out stronger without destroying anything. Their silence, their discipline, their choices shook the galaxy more than any weapon could. As Orin and his team returned to their ship, Dr. Lyra whispered, "Did we just prevent a war?" Orin smiled slightly. "No," he said softly. "We ended one before it began." And as the human fleet turned toward the stars, moving with calm purpose, one thing became clear to every corner of the galaxy. Humanity did not fight for glory, they fought to protect everyone. And when they finally moved, they ended things their own way.